Two black holes collided 1.3 billion years ago. Nobody was there to see it. No civilization existed yet that could have built the instruments to detect it. The light it produced, if you could call it that, was invisible to every telescope on Earth. There was no explosion, no visible flash, no debris field spreading through space. There was only a ripple, a distortion in the shape of space itself, traveling outward from the collision at the speed of light, crossing a distance so vast that if you tried to walk it at a normal human pace, without stopping, the sun would have burned out before you reached the halfway point. That ripple arrived at Earth on September 14th, 2015. At 5:51 in the morning, Eastern Time. It passed through the planet in less than 7 milliseconds. The ground beneath your feet moved. Your body moved with it. Every atom in the building you were in shifted by a distance roughly 1/10,000th the diameter of a proton. A proton is already so small that a single grain of sand contains more protons than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth. You moved by a fraction of that. And two detectors in Louisiana and Washington state, each one 4 kilometers long and engineered to the limits of what matter can measure, caught it. What those detectors recorded on that morning changed the way science understood the universe. Not incrementally, fundamentally. Because the two black holes that collided 1.3 billion years ago did something that nothing in physics had predicted with this kind of precision. They converted mass directly into motion, into a wave, into a distortion that traveled across the entire visible universe and gently, impossibly moved your body while you were sleeping. The question is what actually happened out there, and the answer is stranger than most people know. A black hole is not a hole. That word has been doing damage for decades. A hole implies emptiness and absence of something. A black hole is the opposite. It is the maximum possible concentration of mass in the minimum possible space. All of that mass is still there. It never went anywhere. It just collapsed inward past the point where the normal rules of physics apply. The boundary around it is called the event horizon. Not a surface, not a wall, a threshold. Cross it, and the geometry of space-time itself changes in a way that makes returning to the universe you came from mathematically impossible. Not difficult, not unlikely. Impossible. Every path forward leads deeper in. The two black holes that collided in 2015 were detected by an instrument called LIGO, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational-Wave Observatory. The team that built and operated it received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2017. Their paper describing the detection was published in Physical Review Letters and immediately became one of the most cited scientific documents of the decade. What LIGO detected had a name: GW150914. The numbers are the date, September 14th, 2015. The two black holes involved had masses of roughly 29 and 36 times the mass of our Sun. Each one was approximately 150 kilometers across. The Sun, for comparison, is 1.4 million kilometers across. These two objects, each one containing dozens of times the Sun's mass, compressed into a sphere you could drive across in under 2 hours, had been orbiting each other for an unknown length of time before they finally merged. In the final fraction of a second before contact, they were moving at roughly half the speed of light. The orbital decay that leads two black holes toward each other is not dramatic at first. It takes an enormous amount of time. Two black holes separated by a significant distance lose energy gradually through gravitational wave emission, a process Einstein's general theory of relativity predicted in 1916, but that nobody expected to observe directly within the 20th century. The inspiral phase, as it is called, can last hundreds of millions of years or more. Two massive objects slowly tightening their orbit around each other, radiating energy outward with each pass, drawing incrementally closer. For the pair that became GW150914, this process played out while complex life was still establishing itself on Earth. While the first forests were growing, while fish were learning to breathe air and haul themselves onto land. The inspiral continued through the Permian extinction, through the age of dinosaurs, through their extinction, through the entire history of mammals, through the emergence of our species, through the whole of recorded human history. All of it, unfolding in slow motion, 1.3 billion light years away, while they fell toward each other. Then, in the final moments, everything compressed. The distance between the two event horizons closed to zero. The inspiral became a plunge. The orbital frequency climbed from roughly 35 Hz to over 150 Hz in under a second. Those numbers correspond to sound frequencies. If you translated the gravitational wave signal directly into audio, it would produce a brief ascending tone, low and rising, lasting about 0.2 of a second. Physicists call it a chirp. The two event horizons touched. And then there was one. The merger itself lasted milliseconds. What happened in those milliseconds was unlike anything else in the observable universe. The two event horizons did not collide in the way objects collide. They merged. The geometry of spacetime around them twisted violently, producing gravitational waves at a rate and intensity that briefly exceeded the combined luminosity of every star in the observable universe. That sentence deserves to sit for a moment. Every star in the observable universe means approximately 2 trillion galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars. The total light output of all of them combined at every wavelength in a single instant. The merger of those two black holes briefly radiated more energy than that, not as light, as gravitational waves, as pure distortion. The merged object was not stable immediately. It oscillated, a process called ring-down. The newly formed black hole vibrated like a struck bell, emitting gravitational waves as it settled into a stable configuration. The final mass was roughly 62 times that of the Sun. 3 solar masses had been converted entirely into gravitational wave energy in under a second. 3 times the mass of the Sun. Gone. Converted into a ripple in spacetime that expanded outward in every direction at the speed of light. That ripple is still expanding right now. It passed through this planet in 2015. It is currently somewhere past the nearest star system. In 1 billion years, it will have crossed a significant fraction of the galaxy. It will never stop. If you have followed this far, you are not here for the comfortable version of science. You are here for the part that does not simplify. Subscribe if you have not yet. This channel exists for exactly that kind of attention. Come back every week. The next one goes somewhere you will not expect. Because what the detection of GW150914 revealed was not just confirmation of gravitational waves. It opened an entirely new way of observing the universe, one that had been inaccessible to science since its beginning. Every telescope ever built detects light at some wavelength. Radio, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma. All of it is electromagnetic radiation. Gravitational wave detectors listen to something different entirely. They measure the fabric of space itself vibrating, and the sources of those vibrations, the objects that produce them most powerfully, are precisely the objects that produced no light at all. Black holes, the least visible things in the universe, are now the loudest. Since GW150914, LIGO and its partner Observatory Virgo have detected over 90 confirmed gravitational wave events. Black hole mergers, neutron-star mergers. In one case, a neutron star merging with a black hole. Each detection is a collision that happened millions or billions of years ago, whose signal has only now reached the small corner of the Milky Way where we built the instruments to hear it. The catalog of events describes a universe far more violent than optical astronomy ever suggested. Massive objects colliding constantly across every distance, sending their signals outward in all directions simultaneously. Most of those signals will never pass through a planet with anyone on it to detect them. The ones that reach Earth are a fraction of a fraction. What the detectors actually measure when a wave passes through is a change in the length of their arms. LIGO's 2 arms are each 4 kilometers long. During GW150914, the length of those arms changed by approximately 4/1000ths of a meter, divided by 1,000,000 billion. Written as a decimal, that number has 18 zeros before the digit that changes. There is no manufactured instrument on Earth more sensitive than LIGO at the moment of detection. The mirrors at the ends of the arms are isolated from seismic noise by suspension systems suspended from suspension systems, stacked in multiple layers, hanging inside vacuum chambers pumped to pressures lower than the surface of the moon. Even with all of that, the detectors are sensitive enough that ocean waves breaking on the California coast register as background noise. The detection of that wave required all of it. Every layer of engineering, every decimal place of precision. And what it confirmed was that 100 years earlier, working with a pencil and paper, Einstein had predicted the exact shape of a signal produced by a type of object he did not believe could actually exist. He predicted the ripple. He doubted the source. The universe did not share his reservations. The ring-down signal, the oscillation of the merged black hole as it settled, matched the predictions of general relativity so precisely that the team's analysis found no deviation at any measured frequency. The theory, developed before anyone had ever heard a gravitational wave or confirmed a black hole was real, described the behavior of the most violent event in the observable universe with accuracy that has not been exceeded by any subsequent measurement. The two black holes that fell toward each other for over 1 billion years, that merged in milliseconds, that converted 3 solar masses into a ripple, did not know they were testing a theory. They were simply following the geometry of the universe they existed in. The geometry held. And somewhere out there, right now, 2 more are falling toward each other. We do not know their names yet. We have not built the instruments to hear them yet. But the inspiral is already happening, the wave is already forming. It will arrive when it arrives, carrying the shape of something that happened before most of the life on this planet existed, and the detectors, if we keep building them, will catch it in the quiet hour before dawn when the instruments are most still. A ripple through everything, moving without slowing, carrying the record of an event no eye ever saw. Still traveling, still true. If this reached something in you, leave a like. And tell me this, if we eventually develop the instruments to hear gravitational waves from the Big Bang itself, what do you think they would tell us that our current physics cannot?